You might have heard that Lil Wayne was locked up in prison for serving an 8-month sentence in Rikers Island for possession of a firearm. Lil Wayne then wrote a memoir about his experiences in prison because that's awesome. That's the best thing he probably could have done. Because I don't think he should be rapping that much anymore. His music isn't as great. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some excerpts from the memoir. There are a couple parts of it I really appreciated. One very interesting one is, you might have heard about this, Drake having sex with Lil Wayne's girlfriend while he was in prison. And as you know, Drake and Lil Wayne, they had a bit of a falling out. They were homies under the same label. There's more of that controversy around Birdman, obviously. However, Lil Wayne felt really upset about Drake, and he talks about it extensively in his memoir. But then, Lil Wayne officiated a gay wedding in prison. Now, it's really cool. He talks about how they were drinking Gatorade, and he says Gatorade is like liquid gold up in this bitch. And then they had like grown men putting up toilet paper decorations all over, and then Lil Wayne officiated their wedding, even though he's not a minister, so he's not an official. It technically doesn't count, but for prison, I guess it counts. But it's interesting. What do you think, Grace?
I really liked this story. I think that to me, well, it's really no secret that rap music and the hip hop community still has a little bit of a ways to go with regards to LGBT acceptance and inclusion. There has been a lot of progress with Frank Ocean. You and I love Young Ma. Like there's a lot of progress to be made, but it's still one of the worst insults that you can throw at someone. Look at the Meek Mill, the game beef going on right now is that a guy is gay or that he's somewhere on that spectrum. So yeah, the rap music still has a ways to go, and I really like that Lil Wayne, who's such a pillar of this community, is writing about this in his memoir. And just, that he was there to bring these two people that love each other together, even in such sort of sad, solemn location as a prison. And it makes me also think about mass incarcerations and prison populations and the major epidemic that's going on within this country of the number of people that we've locked up for so long that they begin entire new chapters of their lives behind bars. Is really heartbreaking, but then at the same time, it's heartwarming to hear stories like this of of love and of acceptance. And I wonder I don't really know exactly what Lil Wayne's views were before he was incarcerated, and I wonder if maybe they have evolved since being behind bars and officiating a gay wedding. I don't know, but I think this story is really great, and I think it sets an awesome example for other rappers or other musicians that maybe are still struggling to be openly accepting and loving to the LGBT community.
Yeah, it's hauntingly beautiful, though, when you think about it.
That's a good term for it.
It's hauntingly beautiful when you see a place where people are basically stripped of their freedoms, trying to piece together their lives in any way, shape, or form that they can, and trying to be normal humans, like trying to act and behave as if they had a regular life. Yeah, and they create this culture around prison. Even though they have their liberties stripped of them for wrongdoing, in more cases, more often than not, for really minor offenses, specifically for the black community, minor drug offenses that are legal in other places, like Colorado now. This is a huge part of the prison population problem that we have right now.
I wonder if he'll comment on it in his book.
So yeah, you brought this up earlier where you think that Lil Wayne might make some political statements about mass incarceration. I don't think so. Because I think it's more of a personal depiction of what Lil Wayne sees and experiences in Rikers Island. It's not, I don't think it's about how, what was the book that I read recently? God damn it, I can't remember it. It's about how prison, like private prison, is the new form of slavery. But I don't think he's going to write like a scathing analysis on
I don't think
mass incarceration.
But I do think that his book will serve as some form of social commentary on we have such a public figure who is very beloved by so many people, who was locked up and who was in the system.
Yeah.
And I think that his reflections on that, even if he doesn't get political or into the numbers of it all, I think that is going to be a really interesting commentary for people to look to when we talk about what is a life behind bars. What does that look like?
Well, the reality is like Lil Wayne's life. I agree and I disagree. The reality is I think Lil Wayne's life behind prison is very different than the average prisoner.
Right.
So I think that it'll be interesting to see his perspective. It'll be interesting to see his experiences, but I don't think they will necessarily be the best example of or the best representation of prison life for most poor, unknown black folk, let's say, specifically because Lil Wayne is also black, in prison. Now, having said that, though, there's one other excerpt that I want to talk about. Lil Wayne wanted to have sex with a female, so he tried to get a lady friend of his to come in without wearing any panties, and apparently they searched her and realized she wasn't wearing underwear, so they made her wear male boxers. So Lil Wayne, unfortunately, he failed in that regard, and his favorite TV show was American Idol. But we want to hear from you guys. Are you going to read this book? What do you think about prison population in America? Is it a problem? Do you love it? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sam Piker. This is Grace Baldridge. And we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.